Sportscast, September 25th, 2023. If you haven't yet, please subscribe in all our channels: YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Apple Podcast. Also on Spotify. You can also listen to us on your smart speaker. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please leave a rating and a review. It will help us out tremendously. We're also on online radio. You can listen to us 24/7. You can also listen to us on your smart speaker. Visit us on thesportscast.net and also on X, Instagram at the Sportscast1. And check out our app, the Sportscast for iOS. A lot going on this week, a lot of shockers, a lot of points, and Taylor Swift. Join us all the way from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Joe Toscano, a.k.a. Joey Bag of Donuts. Welcome back to the Sportscast.
Did you know I'm a huge Taylor Swift fan?
I did not know that, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I actually am a fan. I don't know. And now she's invaded the football space, and this is big news for all the Swifties, because now they have to learn football.
And she's dating Travis Kelce is what Joey's trying to say. I mean, I did not see that coming. I don't know if they're the same age. I mean, what do you think about that pair?
I think she'll get an album out of it, and he'll get a reality shot of it. So they'll be very happy.
There you go. We'll get to that a little bit in a second. Let's get to the Steelers and Raiders last night, Sunday Night Football. A lot of question marks about everything. Pickett, but the Raiders did not capitalize on that 4th and 8. Scored a field goal. Steelers won 23-18. Your thoughts over yesterday's win for the Steelers?
I have said many times, as said Victor, that Brandon Staley is the dumbest coach and he should be fired. But Josh McDaniels is I don't know what's going on in the AFC West, but that is one of the dumbest moves I've ever seen. It's late in the game, you're down 8. You're down 8 points, and instead you kick a field goal. What did you not go to math class, bro? If you need 8, 3 is not enough. You dummy. That was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. And then they try to kick a field goal, and the Steelers get a penalty, so they drive down a little more, and then they still end up kicking a field goal after they burn another minute and a half. It was madness. Thank you, dude, for handing us the game, but that was a really dumb decision.
Steelers are now 2-1, Joe. That's something that they're in the top of the AFC North. Looking at my table, what do you think about that?
It's early, but the game last week where they beat the Browns was huge. It was a division game, very hard fought contest. Basically, the defense won the game. So the Steelers, they're at a certain level. They're basically in the mid level. They can beat the not great teams, but they'll lose to the good teams. So they're just at that middle level, and they just have to see, how the season goes. But they still got a lot of work to do. But hey, 2-1's better than 1-2 or 0-3.
Exactly. There's 3 teams in AFC North tied at 2-1. The first is Steelers, then the Baltimore Ravens, then the Cleveland Browns. Bengals are 0-2. Don't know if they're going to turn things around tonight when they play the Rams. We'll get to that predictions a little bit later on, because I know Joey's been studying this thing all morning of what to predict. But I'm looking forward to that prediction. Let's start off week 3. Is that okay with you?
Let's do it.
Let's go at it. Let's start with the best game of the night, of the day, I would say, when the Dolphins scored 70 points against the Broncos. The final score was 70-20. There hasn't been this game, hasn't been a game this high since 1966. I looked this up. Washington Redskins versus the New York Giants. Joe, what happened yesterday to the Broncos? Oh, hey, the Dolphins are that good.
I think it's both. I think the Dolphins are that good and the Broncos are that bad. I mean, the Broncos at home lost to Washington and the Raiders, and those teams aren't very good. And that was at home. Then they go into Miami, And there had to be some personal issues with considering they were trying to get Sean Payton a couple years ago. Also considering that Mike McDaniel is from Denver and was a Denver ball boy, but he never got asked to coach for them. So maybe he was a little bitter about that. I don't know. I don't think they were running up the score. I think Miami is just that good. And I mean, it's an explosive offense, and they didn't even have Waddle. So, yeah, Miami's firing on all cylinders, and Broncos just have a lot of problems. It's just it's growing pains with Sean Payton, or maybe that's just they're just bad. I don't know, but things are looking bad in Denver.
Tua had a perfect first half, Joe. 16 for 16, 206 yards, 2 touchdowns. Running backs Raheem Mostert and Devon Achane scored 4 touchdowns each. Can you believe that?
It was amazing. It was amazing. They were just running wild on Denver. Yeah, I mean, Achane was I believe a 3rd round pick in this year's draft, and look at him. So much for saying that they need to trade for Jonathan Taylor or anything like that. They don't need to. They got it right there. And Mostert is just amazing. The thing. What the Dolphins have done is they've specialized. They've focused on speed. Achane, Mostert, Tyreek Hill, everybody, all the skill players on the team are very fast, and it shows. The speed shows, especially with Tyreek Hill. He is a superstar, and yeah, just the Dolphins are firing on all cylinders. It's amazing.
Miami scored touchdowns on 8 of the 9 drives before Mike White replaced Tua in the 4th. Mustard, that's his nickname, by the way, had his 2nd straight multiple touchdown game with 3 rushing touchdowns and a touchdown catch. Joe, give us a prediction. How long do you think Russell Wilson can last, or Sean Payton can last in the Broncos?
I don't know. I keep hearing that Russell Wilson is he's washed up. I mean, he is older. This might be the end for him. I don't know. I know it's tough. I know it's a tough transition for him. It looks like it's just rocky between him and Peyton. So maybe they'll work it out. I think they'll get better as the season goes on. But right now, it's just not working. And considering that last year was an absolute disaster for Russell Wilson, this is making him look really bad. Because Sean Payton is one of the best coaches that have ever been. So it's not on him, but it's just not working with Russell Wilson right now. So now 2 bad years in a row, that does not look good for Wilson. So either he's not easy to work with, or he's just washed up. Either way, it's not good for Denver.
The pundits are giving Russell Wilson to week 11, so we'll see what happens if Denver can turn things around. They're 0-3. AFC West is tough. And talking about the AFC West, the top of the table, the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh my God, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are like totally official. The megastar watched Sunday's game with Mama Kelce, and she was seen leaving the game with Travis. Patrick Mahomes threw for 272 yards and 3 touchdowns. His all-pro tight end caught 7 passes in one of the scoring throws, and the Chiefs romped to a 41-10 victory over the Bears. Was this a Taylor Swift motivation here?
Whoa. You need to calm down. All right. Santiago, listen, shake it off. Honestly, the biggest takeaway of the game is that Taylor Swift met Kelsey's mom. When you meet the mom, that means a relationship is serious. When you meet the parents, and they're already at that stage. So I'm very excited about this Taylor Swift Travis Kelce relationship. As far as the game goes, Kansas City is just, they're on top of the game. We know that. But the Bears, oh my goodness, we thought they would be better this year. They got, what they have? They got a lot of bad blood, as Taylor Swift would say.
Perfect.
They do have a lot of bad blood. The biggest thing about the Bears is It is now a possibility that Justin Fields is not the quarterback of the future, that Justin Fields is a bust. And that is huge. When you spend a high draft pick on your franchise quarterback and he doesn't work out, it sets the franchise back for years. This is huge for the Bears. Nothing is working. The coach sucks. The offense sucks. The quarterback sucks. The defense sucks. Everything is bad. I think they've lost 13 in a row or something like that, going back to last year. It is hopeless in Chicago now.
You are correct.
No hope. No hope. If Justin Fields doesn't work out, they are completely hopeless.
Hopeless indeed. Fields was 11 of 22 for 99 yards with an interception and a meaningless touchdown in the final minutes. He also led the Bears with 47 yards rushing. A good chunk of that came on a 17-yard scramble as the league's 27th ranked offense finished with 203 yards against one of NFL's fastest defenses. Let's go into the AFC East. Patriots, Jets. The Jets have lost 15 straight games to the Patriots, a streak that spans 2,829 days. Mac Jones threw a touchdown pass to Pharaoh Brown. Matt Judon had a late safety, which I saw was amazing. And the Patriots extended their winning streak over the Jets to 15 games with an ugly 15-10 victory on a rainy Sunday. Your thoughts, Joe?
The Jets had the same problem as the Bears. They drafted a quarterback high, Zach Wilson, and he didn't work out. But they thought they fixed the problem because they traded for Aaron Rodgers, and everything was supposed to be fine. Well, guess what? Aaron Rodgers got hurt, and now they're stuck with Zach Wilson again. And Zach Wilson ain't it. He is not an NFL quarterback. He's terrible, and he's bringing this entire team down. They're already fighting with each other. It's ugly. They need to get Joe Flacco in the short term because he knows the system. Then they need to get someone else. I don't know who's out there. Carson Wentz.
You know, Carson Wentz has approached, or the Jets approached him. Also, Matt Ryan.
Yeah, do it. Bring someone in because Zach Wilson is torpedo. This season, the Jets were supposed to be a Super Bowl contender with Aaron Rodgers. Okay, Aaron Rodgers isn't there, but you need someone better than Zach Wilson because they're just gonna keep losing with this guy. He ain't it.
Zach Wilson was 18 of 36 for 157 yards for the Jets, who went 2 for 14 on the third down after going 1 for 10 in those situations last weekend at Dallas. Colts, Ravens, rainy day. Matt Gay is the first player in NFL history to convert 4 field goals for 50-plus yards, Joe, if you did not know that, in a game. His 53-yarder in overtime clinched the win. Colts beat Ravens 22-19, which Joe does not mind that.
I was rooting for the Colts big time. I was after yesterday afternoon. I became a Colts fan. I was rooting for them. This was a great upset. Nobody expected the Colts to pull this out. Matt Gay, I believe they're calling it the best performance by a kicker ever. I think every field goal he kicked was over 50 yards or something like that. It was amazing. Well, the other amazing thing was Justin Tucker actually had a chance to win the game, but he missed on a 61-yarder.
They hit the post.
He's the greatest. He's the greatest kicker ever. And I mean, most kickers will not even attempt a 61-yarder, but that was surprising that he didn't make it. Huge upset for the Colts. Really bad loss for the Ravens. They did not look good. I mean, you just chalk it up to maybe one of those days.
Yeah, and the Ravens, I think they were out with 5 starters, so that does make a difference. Let's go into Brandon Staley mode here.
My buddy.
Keenan Allen for the Chargers had 18 catches, 215 yards, and a passing touchdown for good measure, beating the Vikings. Chargers, LA, 28 to Minnesota, 24. Your thoughts over that matchup?
this was both teams were 0-2, so they're basically saying that the loser of this was basically their season was derailed, and you have to agree with that. It's over. I mean, it's how the stats show that 0-3 teams just do not make the playoffs. So really bad for the Vikings. It was a close game, and that clown coach Brandon Staley almost gave the game away late in the game. They're on their like 20 or 30, and they go for it on 4th down, and they miss. And all the Vikings had to do, they were down 4. All they had to do was score a touchdown, and they only had like 20 yards to do it. But still, they screwed it up. The Vikings screwed it up in their own way. Yeah, so the Chargers survive, and we'll see what goes on, what happens from here. But bad for the Vikings. The Vikings are basically eliminated.
Vikings are out. Kirk Cousins had a good day, but not enough. Let's go into Green Bay. J Love. Green Bay trailed 17-0 entering the 4th quarter. Awesome comeback at home for Jordan Love and friends. Justin Love rallied Green Bay to the 4th quarter win. Quarterback Derek Carr had a shoulder injury that might have caused the comeback for the Packers, and the Packers stunned New Orleans 18-17 yesterday. Your thoughts?
Yeah, basically everything changed when Carr got hurt. The Saints were in control of the game, and it was in Green Bay. Very impressive. They have a very good defense, and then credit to Jordan Love. He rallied them back. I don't think even Brett Favre ever did that. Come back from 17 down in the 4th, but they got it done. So very impressive win for the Packers. They're just very impressive.
Packers were missing 5 contributors: cornerback Jared Alexander, Aaron Jones, Christian Watson, David Bakari, and left guard Elgton Jenkins. So they did it without their stars there, but they got it done. Good job, J Love. Big win. Let's go out west. Phoenix. This game was talked about a lot last night. Arizona Cardinals, who lost last week against the Giants after a comeback drive from New York, won it. This time they were not gonna let this happen. Josh, with Baltimore, New Orleans, and Cowboys losing, there will be just 3-0 teams by tomorrow. Josh Dobbs, quarterback, 28 years of age, in his 7th NFL season, broke through Joe for his first win by throwing 189 yards and a touchdown for a 28-16 win over mistake-prone Dallas Cowboys on Sunday. The veteran backup was 0-4 as a starter before Sunday, losing twice last season with the Titans and twice more with the Cardinals this year. What a surprise. The Cowboys were supposed to be winning everything. Unstoppable, undefeated season. Arizona Cardinals won it.
Huge shocker. Everybody predicted the Cowboys would destroy, not only win, but destroy the Cardinals. I think that the line was like, I think the Cowboys were favored by like 10.5 or 11 or something like that. So great win for the Cardinals. Josh Dobbs was actually a Steelers draft pick about 7 years ago, and he was the backup for Ben Roethlisberger for a few years. He is an aerospace engineer. He is a rocket scientist. The dude is smart as heck. From what I understand, a great guy, just a super person. So happy for him. But he looked really good. He could run, he could pass. It was all working, and the dude's only been there for exactly 1 month. 1 month he's been there, and he's running the entire offense and winning games for them.
Good sign. Dobbs completed 17 of 21, while James Conner and Rondell Moore both ran for a touchdown. Jonathan Gannon got his first win as Arizona coach, who came from Philly, as the franchise snapped a 6-game home skid that lasted nearly a year. I don't know if they're tanking this year. You think they are, or think they're gonna play every game as like they need to win it?
Well, the thing is, when you tank, it's because you get like lousy players. Like, I don't know, trading for your starting quarterback a month before the season or something like that, or a week before the season. They do. That's how you tank. But the coach and the players are still trying to win. So yeah, I'm sure the owner wants a tank. I'm sure the owner wants that quarterback from USC. But hey, the players and the coach have a different idea.
Dak Prescott did not have a good day. Completed 25 of 40 passes for 249 yards, a touchdown, and interception. You don't trust Dak, don't you?
No, it's the same thing with him. I mean, they were about to get in the game, and he throws an interception in the end zone. That's the thing with Dak. You just can't trust him. He does stuff like that. He'll make a game-breaking interception and tank the team. You know, it's the same thing with him all the time. You can't trust him.
You can't trust Dak. We'll see what happens next week with the Cowboys. Texans, DJ Stroud is just the third quarterback to throw for 900 plus yards in his first 3 career starts, joining Justin Herbert and Cam Newton. Andrew Beck, a 255-pound fullback from near Tampa, became the heaviest player in NFL history to return the kickoff for a touchdown in Houston's 37-17 drubbing off Jacksonville on Sunday. What a play, wasn't it?
That was cool. It was cool watching him rumbling down and avoiding tackles and stuff. That was really cool. What's up with the Texans? Are they actually good? I don't think anybody saw this coming. I thought they would be like a rebuilding team that wasn't very good. And then CJ Stroud is looking really good. So I don't know. Maybe the Texans are good. We'll see. But very, very impressive. And this is another one of those things. Like Indianapolis got a new coach. Arizona got a new coach. Now that the Texans got a new coach, you have these new young coaches that are, bringing in different things, and we think they're going to stink, and they're actually not. So very impressive by the Texans.
Pretty impressive. A new coach, as Joe said, Coach DeMeco Ryans and rookie quarterback CJ Stroud notched their first victories. Tank Dell set the franchise record for receiving yards by a rookie, finishing with 5 catches for 145 yards. And the number 3 overall pick, Will Anderson, became the first Houston rookie to block a field goal since J.J. Watt did so in 2011. Trevor Lawrence he threw for 279 yards with a touchdown to Christian Kirk and a interception. Travis Etienne totaled 138 yards, including 88 rushing. Calvin Ridley, though, dropped 3 passes, including 2 in the end zone, and was flagged twice for false starts. And Jacksonville's defense allowed Houston to go 9 of 15 on third down conversions. Tough place to play, but Houston got it done. Division rivalry, division game. So huge win by the Texans. The AFC South is a little bit wide open, so Houston does have a chance. Let's go up. Let's go up to Cleveland, where Myles Garrett sacked Ryan Tannehill 3.5 times and fronted a swarming defense that limited Tennessee to a record low 94 yards as the Browns rode to a 27-3 win over the Titans on Sunday. Deshaun Watson, Joe, completed 27 33 passes for 289 yards and 2 touchdowns. His 43-yard to Amari Cooper, putting the Browns up 27-3 in the fourth quarter. This Deshaun Watson looks like the Deshaun Watson of old.
Yes, this is a huge game for him because basically between last year and the first 2 games of this year, Deshaun Watson has looked really bad. And this game, he looked good. And maybe, I don't want to say losing Nick Chubb is a blessing, but basically it seemed like they put the entire team on the running game with Nick Chubb, and now that he's gone, they figure, oh, okay, well now we have to use Deshaun Watson, and we have to pass more, and we have to incorporate other things. So maybe, I don't want to say it's a blessing in disguise, but maybe this is what snaps Deshaun Watson into being a good quarterback. I think the Browns are actually a sneaky good team. The Steelers were really lucky to beat them last week. Their defense is crazy good. Myles Garrett, I think Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, and Micah Parsons are going to be in the running all year for Defensive Player of the Year. Garrett can just take over a game. if you don't cover them, they have that their whole defensive line is stronger this year, which lets Myles Garrett be better. But they got a good defense there, so yeah, Browns actually might be good.
Browns might be
Titans
good.
suck.
Yeah, and speaking about Nick Chubb, he got diagnosed with an MCL injury, so he didn't mess up his whole knee, so he may be back next season. So good things for Nick Chubb. Jerome Ford, who's now taking over Chubb's spot, had 2 touchdowns, a 19-yard reception from Watson in the second quarter, in the third, and a 3-yard run in the third. So good signs for the Browns, as Joe said, even though they're in the same division as the Steelers. But we'll see what happens. Let's go into Seattle. Tough place to play, of course. Seattle crowd was electric as always, creating so much noise that Carolina committed 8 false starts. That's a lot. Kenneth Walker III rushed for 97 yards and a 2 second half touchdowns. Jason Myers kicked 5 field goals, and the Seahawks pulled away in a second half victory for a 37-27 win over the Panthers. Another good win by Seattle.
Yeah. Seattle has one of the best home field advantages. It is very, very tough to win in Seattle. The Panthers were missing Bryce Young. They had Andy Dalton in there.
The Red Rifle.
Yeah. And so it wasn't expected that they were going to win. But yeah, I mean, Seattle, they're just a good team. They have a strong rushing attack. Geno Smith is pretty good. They're a good team.
Geno Smith is definitely spreading his wings, so we'll see what happens with the Seattle team. Take an eye on them. NFC West, keep a good eye on them. Let's go out to Detroit. Detroit defense dominated this one, recording 7 sacks and allowing just 183 total yards for offense. Quarterback Jared Goff tie-breaking 45-yard touchdown pass to Laporta early in the second quarter sent Detroit to a 26 victory over Atlanta in a rebound performance for the Lions because they lost Seattle a week ago. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this is a tale of two teams that are supposed to be up and coming, and the Falcons, I think they're just not there yet. But they have this. But the thing about the Falcons is, all they do is run. They don't really pass, and you need to throw a little bit. So, hopefully Ritter can get better, and maybe they can pass more. But you got to do more than just run, Atlanta. So, impressive win by the Lions. Lions are still looking good, but yeah, the Falcons just came down to earth a little bit.
Atlanta's running back rookie Bijan Robinson had 10 carries for 33 yards and 4 catches for 27 yards after he had 255 yards of offense in his first 2 games with the Falcons. Ritter, quarterback of Atlanta, was 21 of 38 for 201 yards with a fumble. He felt the Falcons hurt themselves more than Detroit did. And Detroit's Amon-Ra St. Brown finished with 9 receptions, Joe, for 102 yards, and a rookie running back, Jamar Gibbs, ran for 17 times for 80 yards, surpassing the 59 yards he had on the high ground through the first 2 games. So a lot of insight there with the Lions and Atlanta. Let's go out to Washington, a rainy day. After fouling to the Jets in week 1, the Bills have outscored their opponents 75-13. That's a lot. A 37-3 rout of the Washington Commanders was so clean-cut that Allen and his teammates in their all-white uniforms barely got dirty, despite playing on a muddy field. That didn't go unnoticed for teammates on defense who forced 5 turnovers as the Bills won a second consecutive game since a rough season opening loss. This was a true test of the Commanders, who was 2-0 before yesterday. Now we know where they're at. The Bills are also on fire. Guess what? They're playing the Dolphins next week. But anyways, what you think about that game?
Yeah, this is a real test for the Commanders, and they failed miserably. But now they know where they're at. You think you're 2-0. You won some games. You think you might be good. And they're just a young team. Sam Howell is young and he's still learning. So The Bills are one of the top teams in the league, and this is how you measure yourself. So now they know what they need to work on. So for the Bills, yeah, they just it's business as usual. This is not surprising that they would dominate a team. They're that good.
Josh Allen threw and ran a touchdown and never got sacked, Joe. He was 20 of 32 with 218 yards passing, including a 35-yard touchdown pass to Gabe Davis, and added a 10-yard scamper in the end zone among his 46 yards rushing. It should be an interesting game against Miami next week, right?
Oh, that'll be fun. That's gonna be fun. That might be it might be first to 100 wins or something like that. It might be like 99 to 98 or something like that. That score.
It's funny because people were bringing up that game is a 1:00 game next Sunday. Maybe they should move it to primetime.
They should, but they can't. I know
it's not a flex weekend.
Yeah. It's
it's your fault, Joe.
It's all that. Yeah. I made the rules. All those the Jets have all those primetime games and they want to get out of them, but they can't get out of all of them.
Exactly. Sunday Night Football, maybe the best game of the weekend, according to Joe. Josh McDaniels' decision to kick a late field goal rather than go for it on 4th and 4 from the 8-yard line backfired. All is not settled after Steelers' 23-18 victory over the Las Vegas Raiders on Sunday night. But Kenny Pickett said it was something to build upon after he passed for 235 yards and 2 touchdowns. Is that right? Is this a game to build upon?
Yeah. In the Steelers' first game, their offense did absolutely nothing. In the second game last week, they did a little bit more. In this game, they did a little bit more. So they are building on it. They are getting a little bit better, but the offense is still not very good. The defense of the Steelers just was amazing. They pressured Jimmy G all night. They forced interceptions. They made sacks. That really was the difference. But the Raiders aren't that good. They have like 2 good players, Devontae Adams and Crosby. That's it. That's the entire. The other team, the rest of the team stinks. So
keep in mind, Joe did not mention Jay Garoppolo.
Jimmy G is a good-looking dude, but not that good of a quarterback. Let me put it that way. And it'll just be a matter of time before he has his annual injury because he gets hurt every year. It's just a matter of time. It's going to happen. It just hasn't happened yet. But yeah, I think the Raiders aren't very good.
Jimmy G said that Las Vegas has better pizza than San Francisco.
I've never had pizza in San Francisco or Las Vegas, but I'm guessing they both stink.
Yeah, it's probably not up there as New York. Or
right.
So there you have it. Steelers had 333 yards and 17 first downs. So that's pretty good. Pittsburgh totaled 494 yards and 24 first downs through its first 2 games. How would you rate the Steelers' performance this past weekend? You think it was better than the weeks prior?
Yeah, it was better because the offense was a little bit better. They're starting to get in sync. They're starting to make some plays. So, there was improvement. So this is their best performance. At least the offense's best performance, and the defense played well too. So they're improving.
Jimmy G was 28 for 44 for 324 yards and 2 touchdowns, both to Devontae Adams, and another impressive performance for the receiver. Adams finished with 13 receptions for 172 yards. So good win by the Raiders. But there's 2 more games tonight, Joe. Are you ready for the predictions?
Yeah.
Tonight, Philadelphia at Tampa Bay. It's obviously Hurts versus Baker Mayfield. Tampa Bay is 2-0. Philadelphia is 2-0. What's going to happen tonight?
I think this is going to be similar to what happened in the Commanders Bills game. I think this is a game where Tampa realizes, okay, we're good, but we're not good enough right now. I think it's a get right game for Philadelphia. No upset in this game. I think Philadelphia wins.
There you go. Philadelphia wins tonight. Give us a score. 38-3? Can't be.
No, I'll say 30-17.
32-17. That's pretty close. And we got another game, it's a doubleheader. I'm not sure if Joe's going to watch both at the same time. Rams at the Bengals. I believe Bengals does not have Joe Burrow around. Rams, I believe Puka is questionable for tonight, but he'll probably play. Who you got in Cincinnati?
If Joe Burrow does not play, their season is done. I heard they might put him on injured reserve or something like that. It's that bad. If his injury is that bad, they're done. They're done. They for some reason they made the decision to have like, I think their backup quarterback is like, I don't know, some fourth grader that they got off the street or something like that, or something like that. I don't know, but it's somebody with no experience. So if you and Joe Burrow is their entire team, if he doesn't play, Cincinnati's done. I'm picking the Rams.
You're picking the Rams. Do you like Puka?
I love him. I love that he was picked. I think he was the 177th pick. And just because, they have all these draft experts that say, well, he's not that fast. And he all these little stats that they do in advanced metrics. And all the dude does is he's a good wide receiver. He does good routes. That's what's important as a wide receiver. So I love Puka. It's almost like the same thing as Cooper Kupp. You're just there have been many wide receivers throughout the years. Jerry Rice didn't have great speed. Antonio Brown didn't have it. Steve Largent didn't have it. Sometimes you're just a good wide receiver, and that's what counts, is being good, running good routes, and being in sync with your quarterback. So that's all that matters. He that's a future superstar.
Do you think Cooper Kupp will be back this season?
Yeah, I mean, hamstrings are tough, but it's usually something that doesn't knock you out for the entire season.
He's in better shape than Burrow, I imagine.
Yeah, Burrow, that's bad. That's bad. It's that could sink their entire season.
There's a comment from Twitter: San Francisco pizza is the worst in the universe. No red sauce, only white.
Ew. What's wrong with them? Ew, I'm never going to San Francisco now.
There you go. Poll question of the day. Favorite comic book Joe character. These are the options on Twitter. You can name someone else besides these options. Options are Hulk, Superman, Batman, or Captain America.
I don't know why, but I have loved Superman my entire life.
Me too.
I think when I was a kid, I had to choose between Superman and Batman, and I chose Superman. You know what I think it is? I think it's the colors. He's more colorful. I don't know, but Superman has always been my favorite comic book character.
Batman is leading in the poll by 67%. Then goes Superman, then Hulk. Captain America's at 0.
Huh? What's up with that? What's wrong?
I don't know.
You folks don't like America or something? Anti-American? What's going on with you
Sure.
people?
Who's the actor that plays Captain America?
Chris Evans.
Something. Chris Evans. Wow, right there. That's why we're a duo. You just know what I'm thinking about. Well, there you have it. Week 3 was a fantastic week. Couple injuries, little knocks, nothing crazy like week 1 with Aaron Rodgers and J.K. Dobbins. But this weekend was definitely a lot. There's still more tonight. Philadelphia, Tampa. I think that's going to be a good game. Joe says will be a blowout. Then you got the Rams at the Bengals. Should be a good game as well. Joe, what is the best way to reach you online and ask you, do you ever put white sauce in your pizza?
Goodness, no. My wife likes to do that. I don't like that kind of pizza. Joey Bag of Donuts, V instead of an F. I'm back on Twitter. I got my account back. Yay.
Yeah, how did it go? Was that an easy process? A few days or a few hours?
You know what? It's really weird because X or Twitter or whatever they're calling it, I think what they do with their tech support, with their supports, is I think it's all like AI and bots and stuff like that. So some of the stuff is like really, they respond really quickly, and some of it they take their time. So it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird that I think they've gone to like bots to handle that stuff.
So it got done quickly, I bet.
Yeah.
There you go. Joey Bag of Donuts with a V, right?
Yes.
There you have it. And I agree with you. The white sauce pizza doesn't fulfill me.
No.
The red sauce does, of course.
Yeah. Red sauce, regular crust. Let's not do this thick crust stuff. Just keep it simple when you're talking about pizza, people. Come on.
Don't put stuffed crust pizza, garlic,
Yeah,
butter on top.
no. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Dough, sauce, and cheese. That's all I
That's it.
need.
That's it. And a topping, pepperoni.
Yeah, exactly. Pepperoni will do for me. You can reach us at thesportscast.net or the sportscast1 and on Instagram and also X. Some people call it Twix. And you can follow us along. Of course, we got shows all week. We got the top 25 rundown talking about Colorado's getting demolished by Oregon. And of course, we got the Jersey Boys Sports Talk this week. Victor, we spoke about an hour ago, and he's pretty happy that NFL Hawks agreed with him and Joe about Brandon Staley. And he didn't talk much about Josh McDaniels. I wonder if we'll bring that up this Thursday.
He should. I mean, it was as equally as dumb as anything that Brandon Staley would do.
And you could see the show on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Well, there you have it, Joe. Tonight is the night. Week 4 should be a good one. The only game that stands out is Miami and Buffalo. It might be different for your neck of the woods, but I'm looking forward to next week.
Oh my goodness, that's going to be so much fun. Oh, that's going to be such a good game. I'm excited.
Anyways, go get some pizza for week 4.
Definitely.
Thanks for coming on, Joe.
Thank you.
And this was your update.